So I'm Dr. Christine Theodossis. I am an associate professor at Sherman College of Chiropractic for over 12 years now. I love being here where I get the honor and the privilege to influence the next generation of chiropractors. And that's why I'm here at Sherman College, because I had a big dream that if chiropractic was true, I wanted to make sure the whole world knew about it. And what I didn't realize is what that would look like. And it fell in my lap, this opportunity to teach at Sherman. And so I realized, hey, this is a way I can make a bigger impact. That's why I'm at Sherman. And then the ICA launched the Upper Cervical Diplomate program. It was 2013. And I was in an upper cervical practice, big upper cervical practitioner, and I knew I wanted to be a part of that first offering. So circumstances happened. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but the universe allowed me to enter that first inaugural class for the upper cervical diplomate. And that diplomate changed the course of my career because I was still in practice at the time, running a practice out of the practice. I loved being an associate doctor where I got to just focus on being a doctor. But in my third year, I was running a practice out of a practice, and it was kind of taking the joy out of it for me because I didn't like the business aspect. And so when I started the diplomate program, it was all basic sciences to begin with. And so Sherman was just down the road for me. I was in Asheville, North Carolina, Sherman, South Carolina, an hour away. I called him up to see if I could review anatomy in their anatomy lab. I wanted to study these 3 inches and prepare myself more in line with the curriculum. And Dr. Bob Irwin told me, no, you've had your time and it's the students' time, but you can help us teach. And that opened my mind to something I didn't even consider. And I said, well, I'll try it for a quarter. I got my practice and I'll come down there 2 days a week. And at first I thought I got myself in over my head, but a student asked me on day 2, what's an SCM? I was like, sternocleidomastoid. I know this stuff. Because originally I just wanted to study this, and now here I was teaching the whole body. It was a little overwhelming, but then I realized, you know what? I loved being back on the Sherman campus where everybody loves and wants to learn about chiropractic. And that's not the case in practice always. Patients more want to know, how long is this going to take? How much is it going to cost? Are you going to be able to get me better? But here at Sherman, every student wants so much more. We say verbally vomit on a student and they'll ask me for more. And so I loved that. And that's when I realized I can make a bigger impact here. So when they offered me full time, I accepted and been here almost over 12 years now. So that was my first introduction, really. As a student, new doctor, I wasn't familiar with the ICA much at all. And so it was the diplomate program that brought it to my attention. I completed that 2015, got our diplomas 2016, and then went into being a director for that council. I was invited to take somebody's place, I think. And that was my first initial step into the Council on Upper Cervical Care as a director. And then I served as a director for a few years. And then a position opened up for the nominating committee chair. And I think I've had that position about 4 or 5 years now. And it was a really good position for me. I like to be very organized. And so I get the joy of helping the council organize their award ceremony every year, what chiropractors get these specific awards, as well as the very important job of running the elections for who's the leadership that's going to come in and continue to perpetuate this mission forward for the Council on Upper Cervical Care through the ICA. And so that's how I got involved with the ICA, just kind of with my interest in upper cervical and not really knowing anything about it before then. So I try to tell my students now about diplomate programs so they have an idea. And at Sherman, we have a lot of the ICPA here, so they're familiar with that. But I want them to know about this as organizations that are fighting for our rights as chiropractors, right? That's the idea, and in this case, internationally. And so we don't realize as students, and we're bogged down with academics, like there are things that we're fighting for as chiropractors, and without these groups, who's going to do it?